Hello and welcome to our live webcast special Forewarned Monsoon 2017. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Brode. This atmospheric river will get shoved to the south by this area of low pressure, bringing extremely cold Arctic air in from the Gulf of Alaska. And that's going to be part two of our weather story. So let's get through part one here. Here's one of our newer products. This is a GOES 16 satellite. Remember, those satellites constantly orbit the Earth all times. And one thing it sees when you're looking at the visible imagery is this white right here. How do we know that's not clouds? Because here are the clouds. Those are moving. This is still snow being detected. Do we still have precipitation falling when that colder air arrives? And if we do, that's when we see likely some snow showers in the city of Tucson. My concern tonight is that we have a lot of wet objects, things like tree branches, things like power lines. Those could freeze. We may have to be on the lookout for some potential power outages. So please have a plan in place right now should that happen. That's a blowing dust advisory. Remember, I said there could be more on the way, and we're watching what we call an outflow boundary or storms in New Mexico. Ahead of those storms, gusty winds could pick up some of that dust. And check this out. This is not a Chicago O'Hare runway. This is Tucson International Airport, where we had flight delays, flight cancellations, and 3 different weather records were broken here in the city of Tucson today. They're making bacon. There they go. I'm not sure who won. I'm not sure it matters who won, but it's fun, John. With the mic here, someone got checked into the boards, and the mic literally fell on the ground for a good old-fashioned, get this, mic drop. Mic drop. All right, 6:15 on a very soggy Valentine's Day. Let's look at what we have in store. That flood watch still active, really for the mountaintops north of Tucson, east of Tucson, and really for the valleys as well. But I think that areas hardest hit will be along the mountains. And we've already picked up 3/4 of an inch of rain in just a couple hours period of time atop Mount Lemmon. There you have it. Heaviest rain currently east side, northeast side of town. Here's downtown, southeast side of town getting some good rain right now. Let's put this into motion. Most of the showers rolling from west to east, and they're kind of coming along in bands, and this is going to be, I think, the theme that we're going to see really throughout most of tonight and at least the first few hours of tomorrow morning. Heavy showers also now in northwestern portions of Cochise County as we put this all into motion, really extending pretty far to the north, this rain, in southern sections of Utah all the way down to the Mexican border. Call this that, yes, Pineapple Express. We've talked about that the last couple of days in an atmospheric river because continuous clouds extend from the Hawaiian Islands, hence the name Pineapple, and the clouds, if you follow them, go all the way to eastern sections of Kansas. That's about 3,000 miles of real estate. So this atmospheric river will get shoved to the south by this area of low pressure, bring extremely cold Arctic air in from the Gulf of Alaska, and that's going to be part two of our weather story. So let's get through part one here. Futurecast. Rain heavy at times, 6 o'clock tonight as we make our way to the 11 o'clock hour. Still raining in some spots. A good old-fashioned SOGfest. Friday early morning, still some scattered showers, and I think they stick around through about midday. Partial clearing Friday night. Look at what happens on Saturday. That colder air we showed you in the Gulf of Alaska bringing some snow showers to Arizona's high country throughout much of the day Saturday and to a certain extent on Sunday. So looking ahead, well, we have heavy mountain rain, 2 to 4 inches. Localized amounts could be closer to 6 inches. Valley rain, I think, a 1/2 inch to 3/4. Partly cloudy and a cool weekend. And how's this for the kicker here? Valley snow early next week. Yeah, there's a question mark there, but some signs starting to come to pretty good agreement that we could see some pretty cold air on top of us with some moisture. Wet in 64 at the Tucson International Airport at 6 o'clock at night. 50s for lows, 60s with morning rain tomorrow. So do expect a very soggy evening. If you have Valentine's plans, please be careful if you're going to be outside on the roadways. 100% chance of that rain tonight through tomorrow. 67 are high tomorrow. Upper 50s Saturday, cold Sunday, 57. How about a 49-degree high on Monday with a 50% chance of rain? Late Monday night, early Tuesday morning, 30% chance of morning rain, possibly snow showers. Someone dressed for not only the part of winter, but for Valentine's Day. Mr. Sakala, I like the get-up you got there.
Well, thanks, but it's actually for a birthday.
We are back 6:15 on the dot on a historic weather day across southeastern Arizona. Let's jump right to your snow totals. I know a lot of people are saying how much or asking how much snow came down atop Mount Lemmon. Well, best guess right now, 36 inches with that asterisk because we have some yardsticks that I've been kind of eyeballing. It looks like they're almost covered. However, some of that snow blows around, so they're going to have to get an official measurement up there probably in the next couple of hours or so. Hopefully that comes in. Foot of snow, Sonoyta, 10 inches in Oracle, 6 Vail, almost 6 Corona Day, Tucson, and sections of Green Valley over 2.5 inches. And right here in Tucson, Rita Ranch, 2.2. Tucson International Airport, that record 1.9. I'd like to see that go to 2 inches. We still have some snow showers in the area. That could happen. University of Arizona students today were probably saying, we came to U of A. We didn't want to go to the University of Wisconsin, for example, and it looked a lot like that. Top of Mount Lemmon. Here's that snow stick. This is 3 feet tall right here. You can see just kind of holding on to maybe an inch. So that's why I'm saying about 3 feet. And once again, some of that did blow off invariably, and some of those drifts are going to be much higher than that. Catalina Mountains shrouded in clouds. You can see a couple breaks right there where some snow, low snow is evident on the mountaintop. 37 at the airport, reporting a rain shower, not a snow shower this hour. Dew points 34, and winds are calm. Cold, right? 30s. Our daytime high today, by the way, 45 degrees. That happened at 1:52 this morning. We got down to 32 degrees around the 8:30 hour when some of that snow started flying. Below freezing already in Wilcox. Douglas freezing cold. It's 31 in Sierra Vista. And we're seeing just some more snow showers roll through southeastern Arizona. Rain showers toward Phoenix and somewhere in between rain, snow, maybe kind of a mixture of both in between the cities of Phoenix and Tucson. Low pressure will finally skirt off to the east. As that happens, we get cold air on this opposite side of the low pressure, and that's why we're expecting a very cold night of weather. We'll talk about that coming up. 6 o'clock tonight, still some scattered showers. 7 o'clock, yeah, maybe a few more. 8 o'clock, most of the focal points are into Cochise County, Chiricahua Mountains by midnight. Then game over with the precipitation. Cloud-free skies will portend an extremely cold night of weather. Before all this moves out, there's Mount Lemmon. Look at that, maybe 6 to 12 more inches of snow. I think much more along the lines of 6 than the 12. Then hard freeze warning tonight through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Freeze warning western sections of Pima County. My concern is that tree branches, for example, power lines could ice over tonight, and that could mean some localized power outages. So just have a plan in place should that happen tonight. 20s for lows, low 50s tomorrow. Frigid start, then we turn sunny. So a nice day for the rodeo. It's going to be a cool day, only in the 40s in Cochise and Santa Cruz County. 7-day forecast and clear up nicely tomorrow at 51 degrees. 62 Sunday, Monday 67. Hey, 70s are back Tuesday through Friday, which incidentally is average this time of year. Our average high today is 70, despite the fact that we were snowing for most of the day. Someone I saw on Facebook holding his dog, his like 100-pound dog, on his shoulder in the snow. None other, Mr. Paul Sakala. What you got, Paul?
You forgot to
Gate Square, where this party's already kicking off, right, Matt?
3, 2, 1, there's the party. They just kicked it off. Before we went to break, I did tell you that I got a little bit snubbed by our two favorite felines, Wilbur and Wilma. I like John's philosophy. Wilbur didn't see me. I went to high-five him. He didn't see me, but maybe it's because Wilbur and Wilma were just competing for something right now. Not exactly sure who won that competition, but that's what they're doing here. They're playing some games out here, having a good time, still with that pseudo-Halloween theme, of course, just being the first day of November. But you got to know about the weather and the game tomorrow on your Friday night. Kickoff will be at 7:30 and we'll be mostly clear, but a little bit chilly again, mid-60s. By the second half, we'll talk about temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60. High temp today in Tucson, 73, so that puts us a good 6 degrees below average. So we begin the month of November now below average. That trend will not stick around too long as we do have a pretty strong area of high pressure. Not too strong, but high enough to keep us just slightly above average for this time of year. Live look outside at 67 degrees, dew points 28, northwest winds 5, so light winds, dry conditions, and clear skies does make the recipe for a pretty cool night again of weather. Mostly into the 60s across greater Tucson at the 6 o'clock hour. Let's see what's happening down with our good neighbors down in Cochise and Santa Cruz County, and for most of you, your tracking temps already into the 50s as well, so it shouldn't be too long before those locales dip into the 40s. We dip into the 50s by about 10 o'clock or so, maybe even upper 50s sooner than that. So if you are out here, Main Gate Square, after the pep rally concludes, maybe just at a restaurant or two, make sure to grab that light jacket, you'll need it. High pressure sits off the western states, and it's not going to nudge too far. Farther east it goes, warmer we are. Farther west it goes, the cooler we are, so we're going to move it a little bit to the east, and that will warm our daytime temperatures up back to about average this time of year. Keep in mind the average high for today is 79, so anywhere north of 80 is slightly above average, but let's just keep those 90s away, and I think we'll be doing okay. There's that area of cool air, a little pocket that shifts off to the east, and that high pressure tries to consolidate itself a little bit closer to Arizona. Not too much closer, though, so that does mean we will just keep things a little bit above average for this time of year. Football Friday tomorrow. The Fever's out here tonight for sure. Upper 40s. Get your day kicked off tomorrow, 49 at 7 a.m. Lunchtime, 74. Around that area of high pressure, we could see a couple high clouds or two. Overall, though, daytime highs right around 80. We'll call it 79 here for the city of Tucson. Turning a little breezy on Saturday, 80. A couple disturbances try to form around that high pressure, but it's a strong high, so nothing more than breezes by Saturday and Monday. Daytime highs into the upper 70s to lower 80s, all the while those nighttime lows in the upper 40s to the lower 50s. All right, so back out here live, they're saying give it up to the pride of Arizona. The party has begun. As you can see, a lot of fans, a lot of people, a lot of spectators, and a little bit of a chill in the air too. Once again, I put the old fleece on. I believe this is now the first live shot, maybe second this year, that I've had the fleece on. So feeling a lot like fall, feeling a lot like football, feeling a lot like a Wildcat win tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll send it back to you. "74 years ago, as World War II neared its end, Adolfo Harpo Celaya, a scrappy Mexican-American teenager from Florence, Arizona, wanted to join the Navy.
They had big signs there, join the Navy and see the world and all that stuff, with beautiful girls on it.
The only catch, too young. He needed his father's permission.
I wanted him to sign for me to go into the Navy.
Harpo's wish was granted. He found himself in boot camp. Before long, he was shipping out on the USS Indianapolis.
They took us down to go over and see the ship, and I looked at that thing, and I almost ran all the way back to Florence. I mean, it was big.
Harpo settled in the Indy, but it wasn't smooth sailing.
So they would pick on me and say, why didn't I go back to Mexico where I came from?
Harpo fought back, sometimes getting physical. The Indy engaged in the bloody battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. Harpo witnessed, but was not impressed, by what would become one of the most iconic images of the entire war.
I took the binoculars and headed back to big deal, I said, and I took off.
In 1945, Japanese kamikazes slammed into the bow of the Indy.
It killed 9 men at that time, yeah.
That moment, the harsh reality of war sunk in.
And that's when I first knew that I wasn't gonna go to see them girls. And
on a hot summer night in 1945, a Japanese submarine spotted the Indianapolis, launching 2 torpedoes.
it blew the whole bow on the second one hit in the middle right where I was at.
Fire engulfed the ship. Within 12 minutes, the USS Indianapolis sunk.
I could hear him hollering, I'm on fire, stuff like that.
Hardly able to see while escaping, fate took over. He ran into his friend Santos Peña. The two jumped ship.
Where did you guys jump off?
Right here.
He says he landed hard in the water, injuring his knees, thinking he might have killed his friend Santos. Harpo joined hundreds of fellow sailors floating like buoys in the sea for days, but the world would soon learn of perhaps the deadliest shark attack in history.
We were quiet, and all of a sudden the scream came up and everybody could hear it. And that scream gets to you.
Through it all, Harpo never lost a sense of humor, joking he was spared because sharks didn't like, quote, dark meat. But after several days floating at sea, he says, men became delirious.
They were drinking salt water and all that. They would attack you. They would pick fights with you.
While caring for his ailing chief, Harpo heard men speaking Spanish.
I thought I was going crazy.
Harpo swam to the sound and found Santos alive. But when he returned to his chief, he was too late. He was floating away too weak to survive.
I've thought about it every night since it happened. It never has gotten away from me. And I wish I could get it away from me sometime.
Upon rescue, Harpo was not treated as an injured hero. In fact, he was disciplined, singled out day after day when asked to be excused from duty due to his sustained injuries. What he still thinks to this day was because of his dark skin.
It's bothered me more than anything. Because I had a rough time when I was in there. They put me into a little cage and stuff like that.
So you felt like a prisoner.
Yeah.
After serving your country, delivering the parts of the bomb, surviving in the water for 5 days, 5 nights, you're punished.
Yeah.
No surprise, to this day, Harpo avoids baths and beaches. He went on to run a successful business, often helping people in need, but returning to Tucson after the war, well, he suffered from PTSD and numbed his pain with alcohol. Then a visit from his high school principal would set Harpo on an unusual and improbable athletic course, one which just may have saved his life. Paul Cicala continues his story in A Man of Courage, Part 2, Monday night at 6.